Hi, I'm Jayne, professional coach for Envy Gaming, and I'm back today with another video in the Pillars to Pro series. Today, we're going to be talking about teamwork. Teamwork is really important when you're part of an esports team because it's going to be how you win games. Simple and done. Mechanical skill is going to be able to take you to one level, strategy and tactics might take you to another, but when you're dealing with large teams in esports, 5, 6 people, especially in the case of Overwatch, you need to be communicating because plans are going to change and you're going to need to adapt to what the opponents are doing. Each single member on your team is going to be bringing something different to the table, whether it's information that they see the opponents that are doing or actions that they're going to make to try and best the opponent. Now, every single team is going to be different when it comes to the internal dynamics of how the individuals work with one another. Now, in terms of Tracer or Reinhardt or the characters in the game, those are all going to be operating the same no matter who plays them. It's the same stats, the same abilities. However, each and every single individual is going to bring their own unique flavor to the playstyle in those characters. Different players are going to be wanting to be aggressive or passive. Other players are going to want to be proactive or reactive. There's a whole bunch of different play styles that vary not only on how a person plays a character, but how a person wants to play strategically and tactically. One of my favorite sayings is that one person doing something is a mistake, 2 people doing something is a strategy. Usually in esports, there's not one specific play style that's going to be best, but especially when you're talking about team dynamics or play styles as a whole, it doesn't matter whether you're aggressive or reactive, as long as you're aggressive or reactive together. When it comes to building up teamwork, another really important aspect is going to be building up the chemistry between members on the team. And by chemistry, there's a lot of different things that go into it, a lot of different things required to make the formula work. But the 2 largest components are going to be trust and respect. Trust is going to be super important for a lot of reasons, but first and foremost, it allows for the presence of a leader in a team. And while the team as a whole, every single member is important, and we'll get to individual roles in a bit, at some point, somebody needs to make a decision. Democracy is all fun, good, happy, sunshines and rainbows. However, in time-critical situations, it is much more effective if one person simply makes a decision. It doesn't really matter whether that decision was the most optimal or if there was something better. It's just important that a decision is made. Even if it's on stage or whether it's in practice, if a decision is made, regardless of who makes it, that decision needs to be followed because the individuals need to trust each other. And if somebody sees something and they say it and they're confident enough to call it, you have to trust in what they saw. They don't have enough time to explain themselves, there's not enough time for a debate, and there's not enough time for a vote. So if something is called by a member of a team, specifically if it's the leader, but anyone should be able to make this call, the call needs to be trusted and then everyone needs to follow that. If the call does end up being wrong, that's totally fine. We have to learn from our errors and be okay and be accepting of people making mistakes if we're going to improve. If something was considered an error, or maybe if you don't even know, you just think there could have been something better done in that moment, it's best if the team as a whole takes a look at it after practice or after an official match. When it comes to respect, this is where my saying of 6 eyes and 6 ears comes into play, is that each individual member on your team, and I am talking about Overwatch where there's 6 players, is that the 6 players are going to be positioned differently, looking at different things, doing different things. So everyone is going to have a very slightly different perspective on the game, not only in terms of what they are looking at on their screen, but also what resources they care about. And you need to respect different perspectives in order to make the best calls. And this is why 6 eyes and 6 ears are extremely important, because although you may not be able to see the individual screens of your teammates, all 5 of them, you are still going to be able to hear them tell you the information from their perspective and their focus that is important for the team as a whole. If you don't respect what your teammates have to offer, you're going to be operating at a handicap because you're missing a set of eyes that could give you critical information required to win games. And furthermore, this is going to play into the different roles that each member has on a team. Now, there's going to be some games where everyone plays very, very similar roles. Their characters are all the same across the board, or at least capable of the same things. But in games like Overwatch, you have tanks, you have supports, and you have damage dealers. One of the largest troubles that people find, especially when they're playing solo queue or in a ranked mode or anything with an online matchmaker, is that they try and cover for people underperforming in different roles. For example, a tank player trying to do more damage because their DPS aren't performing, or their tank players playing more passive because their supports don't seem to really be on the ball or paying attention. This is something that needs to be changed in a different way. When you're trying to adapt or cover from your teammates, really what you're doing is reducing your effectiveness overall. The correct answer to a damage dealer not performing is to enable them. And the correct answer to a support player not giving you enough attention is to communicate that and make sure that they know you need their support in order to perform. Don't turn one error into two. Now, just like we've been talking about different perspectives and different roles, coaches fit into this model in a very, very similar way. Not only do coaches have a different role of making sure that this communication and teamwork is actually in place and performing as optimally as possible, but usually in games, the coaches actually have a third-person perspective compared to the players who have first-person perspectives. And the role of a coach is not to teach the professional players how to actually play the game or play their characters or play their roles. Their job is going to make sure that they all work together in the best way possible so that they can actually win games. And this third-person perspectives allows them that seventh set of eyes that is going to give the team more information, the information that they need in order to play at a higher level. I hope you enjoyed today's video on teamwork. If you are interested in more videos like this, check out the Predator Training Room channel where you're going to find more videos in this series from both myself and other individuals from Envy Gaming. There's tons of different quotes that I could leave you with here, but I'm just going to keep with the age-old cliche of teamwork makes the dream work. And your teammates aren't there to make you better. You're there to make the team better. Have fun, friends.